Okay, so if you spent like any time at all on TikTok
Yeah.
recently, or really just listen to anyone under, say, 25, you absolutely cannot have missed this. This whole trend of letting Gen Z write your marketing script. It feels like it's everywhere.
Oh, completely. Big brands, tiny businesses, museums, castles.
Politicians are trying it out. So,
Yeah.
yeah, today we're doing a deep dive into this whole phenomenon. We've pulled together stuff from news articles, marketing analysis, even some firsthand accounts from people right in the middle of it.
Right. And our mission really is to figure out, okay, what is this trend? Why are all these different places jumping on board? Does it actually work? And maybe more importantly, what does it tell us about trying to connect with younger people today? I mean, the digital world changes so fast.
It really does. It feels like a moving target sometimes.
Exactly. It's a fascinating example of how communication just adapts sort of in real time. We really want to get under the hood, understand the mechanics behind why it works,
Yeah.
or sometimes why it doesn't, and what can we all learn from watching its, successes and its face
Case
plants.
plants, yeah. Good word.
Well, it's more than just a funny video going viral, right? It's kind of a window into what authenticity means now.
Okay, let's break it down then.
Yep.
So the basic idea, the core concept, it's older staff members, right? Or maybe public figures,
Uh-huh.
reading out scripts filled with Gen Z slang in these promotional videos.
Yeah, and often delivered really deadpan or maybe a little awkwardly, like they're hinting, the intern wrote this.
Right. Using words like, okay, slay, which means doing something really well.
Yep. Or Riz, charisma, charm.
No cap, meaning like seriously, or no lie.
Lesson for when something's amazing, usually food, but not always.
Uh-huh. And goat, greatest of all time. Then you get ones like mentee B, mental breakdown, but kind of playful.
Sort of, yeah. And Sigma, which is
Mhm.
this like lone wolf type character idea.
Right. Okay.
But it's interesting, isn't it? It's not always just the slang. Sometimes the humor comes from using like totally normal words.
Yeah.
Words like demure or mindful, but using them in this really exaggerated, ironic way, it creates a different kind of awkward funny.
Okay. I see.
And you really have to think about Gen Z here. Born roughly 97 to 2012, they grew up with the internet, digital native.
Completely. Their expectations are just different.
Exactly. And Dr. Kathy Ann Fletcher, she's a marketing expert. She said something really insightful about this audience. She said, basically, cringe is the point.
Cringe is the point. Okay. Unpack that.
Well, the idea is it's not about trying to be super cool or perfectly polished. That can come across as fake. Instead, it's aiming for something more, I don't know, natural, relatable, human, even with the awkwardness. And maybe that's what cuts through all the noise online, all the
Yeah.
super slick, maybe less authentic stuff.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Like
Yeah.
embracing the awkwardness makes it feel more real somehow. So,
Yeah.
okay, if cringe is the point and it's about being relatable, how's that actually played out? Who's really nailed this? Any standout examples?
Oh, absolutely. And the numbers, I mean, they're kind of mind-blowing. You take Adam Mooney, right? He's a 79-year-old granddad, runs Ayrshire Blinds.
Okay. A blinds company.
Yep. His video doing this trend got over 3.5 million views.
Wow. For blinds.
For blinds, people were apparently sending marriage proposals. They nicknamed him Slaysher.
Slaysher, that's brilliant. Marriage proposals.
Wow.
Wow.
It's not just like a few chuckles online. That's real impact, real connection.
Okay, that's amazing. Who else?
Well, then there's Fifield Manor. It's this like 880-year-old B&B in Oxfordshire.
880 years old. Okay.
Yeah, the owner, Christine Brown, her daughter Franny wrote the script. Christine delivered lines like, 880 years old, no cap.
Okay.
And she said the medieval dining room had so much
Riz in the dining room.
that one got over 10 million views.
10 million.
Yeah. Christine was apparently stunned. But the cool thing, they started getting younger guests booking, people actually interested in the history because of the video.
That's fantastic. It actually drove business from a new demographic.
Exactly. And then there's the Royal Armories Museum. Mark Murray Flutter, he's a 65-year-old senior curator there.
Okay, a museum curator.
He did a video saying things like, Brat Summer is over, besties. It's time to enter the historical era.
Besties. Oh my God.
To Royal Armories is the most Sigma day out in Leeds. No cap.
Sigma museum trip.
Okay. And he called Henry VIII the original Rizzler whose codpiece hits different.
No, he didn't. The original Rizzler.
He did. That video got 7.1 million views.
Okay, so what is it about these examples that work so well? Is it just the shock value?
It's partly the contrast, I think. The older presenter, the unexpected Gen Z slang, that creates humor. But it also feels authentic in its own weird way, like they're in on the joke.
Yeah, like they're not trying too hard to be cool, just leaning into the awkwardness.
Precisely. And this connects to what marketing folks like Webby are saying. Gen Z tends to value that authenticity, that humor, that kind of genuine feeling content. They're maybe less impressed by generic, super polished ads, especially the ones that feel like, AI wrote them.
Right.
And this ties into something called employee-generated content, or EGC.
EGC. Yeah.
It's when employees, not necessarily marketing pros or agencies, create the content. It often feels more real, more relatable, and it can be super effective, especially, if marketing budgets are tight. These videos probably didn't cost a fortune to make.
That's a great point. High impact, potentially low cost, if you get it right. And the audience reactions seem pretty positive for these ones too, right? I saw Curry's did one.
Yeah, the electronics retailer.
Uh-huh. They did an It's a Brat Summer at Curry's, my guys, video. And someone commented it was the best advertising I've ever seen.
High praise.
Definitely. And you see other big names jumping into the comments too, like the Post Office, Krispy Kreme UK, Nectar, even Henry the Vacuum Cleaner.
Henry the Vacuum, amazing. Shaun the Sheep, Teletubbies HQ2, apparently. It becomes this sort of shared cultural moment.
It really does.
Yeah.
And it's not just brands, like you said. Loads of cultural institutions seem to be nailing it.
Absolutely. It's almost become a genre for museums and zoos.
Like Hever Castle. The guy saying, "Pop off Queen" to the Anne Boleyn portrait. That got 12 million views.
12 million. It's clever, right? It uses modern slang to make history feel immediate, unexpectedly relevant.
Totally. And Beamish Museum talking about how the bakery smell was sending me.
Jacksonville Zoo handing sticks to a giraffe, saying, "Let them cook."
Let them cook.
Northumberland Zoo, the director's talking about Ralph the raccoon being very cutesy, very mindful, very demure.
Demure raccoon.
And then saying, "Bats are brat."
Bats are brat. Love it. South Carolina Aquarium did a this and that thing. Tennessee Aquarium talking about small turtles.
Small turtles, shed aquariums, Amazon Rising era. Roger Williams Park Zoo used actual goats as goats.
Clever. Houston Zoo, just deadpan bussin'. Phoenix Zoo did this exaggerated word salad thing.
Dallas Zoo had, boomer staff saying the zoo store slapped.
It slaps. New York Historical Society saying a painting is slaying the house down. The Viking Museum calling Freyr a big rizzler.
Aardman Studios with It's Serving Grommet. National Gallery Singapore. We are cooking from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day.
It's everywhere in that sector.
It really is. And I think what it does is it creates these little aha moments for people watching. You expend a certain kind of communication from a museum, right? Maybe a bit formal, educational.
Yeah, definitely.
And then they hit you with slay or whistler. It subverts your expectations. It shows they don't take themselves too seriously.
Right, makes them seem more human, less like just an institution.
Exactly. Willing to engage, even if it's a bit awkwardly, with what's happening in pop culture right now. And that approachability factor is huge. You saw comments like, "I think I instantly have to go to the National Coal Mining Museum on one video."
Wow, so it actually makes people want to visit.
It seems so. It kind of breaks down that perceived barrier, that maybe stuffiness. It's like translating culture into a language people are already speaking online, even if the translation is, hilariously absurd sometimes.
Okay, so we've heard about the massive viral hits, the Slayshires, the Risfield Manors, the Sigma Museums. It seems like a guaranteed win, right? But is it always? Because, well, not everyone seems convinced.
Yes, the other side of the coin. The cringe conundrum, perhaps.
Exactly. We actually saw some direct feedback from Gen Z students, pupils at a new high school in Dunfermline.
Oh, interesting. What did they say?
Pretty blunt, actually. One just said, "I don't really think it works."
Oh, okay.
Another one felt, it was funny the first few times, but then it really dwindled down. It's not organic.
Not organic. That's a key criticism, isn't it, if it starts feeling forced?
Yeah. And another one just flat out said, "It's cringe, to be honest, but maybe not the good kind of cringe."
Right. This really highlights the tightrope walk involved here. There's a very, very fine line between that intentional, attention-grabbing cringe.
The kind that feels self-aware.
Exactly. And the unintentional kind. The kind that just makes you grimace and scroll away because it feels try-hard or out of touch.
And that raises the question, like that student said, is it losing its impact? Is the novelty wearing off?
It's a definite risk. Wired magazine actually made an observation, something like the trend might be basically over once people over 35-ish start using your slang.
Huh. The kiss of death from the olds.
Sort of. Once it becomes too mainstream or feels like brands are just jumping on a bandwagon without really getting it, it loses that edge, that initial charm.
So timing and maybe authenticity of intent really matter.
Hugely. Is it a genuine attempt to connect and have fun, or just a cynical ploy to seem relevant? Audiences, especially Gen Z, are usually pretty good at sniffing out the difference.
Okay, so if brands and museums are walking this fine line,
Hmm.
what about politicians? You mentioned they were trying it too. How's that going?
Ah, well, that seems to be where the cringe often lands firmly on the unintentional side. The results have been, let's say, less universally acclaimed.
Okay, give us examples.
Well, you had Ian Murray from the Labour Party showing off a scarf he called low-key drip.
Low-key drip. Okay.
Ed Miliband declared some vibes were immaculate.
Inoculate vibes. Got it.
The Scottish Conservatives and the Scottish Greens both tried to claim a brat summer.
A political brat summer.
And even U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris was noted for adopting some of the brat aesthetic.
Right. But it doesn't seem to generate the same kind of affectionate, eye-rolling, or viral buzz, does it?
Generally, no. And it goes back to what those students in Dunfermline said.
What was that again?
They basically said when it comes to politicians, they'd rather hear about actual policies. They preferred, and I'm quoting loosely here, more down-to-earth stuff, focusing on the things they actually want to get out rather than a lot of this nonsense they're putting out.
So, for politicians, trying to use Gen Z slang just felt like nonsense, not authentic.
Pretty much. It illustrates a really important point. Context is everything. What works for a quirky B&B or a museum trying to seem less stuffy might completely backfire for someone voters expect to be serious about, governing.
So, humor and authenticity are valued, sure,
Yeah.
but there are real limits on how and where this specific trend works. It's not a magic bullet for connection.
Absolutely not. Credibility is crucial. Trying too hard to be trendy, especially in a field like politics, can damage that credibility rather than enhance connection. The message and the messenger have to align.
That makes total sense. Okay, so wrapping this up then, we've seen this Gen Z marketing script trend explode, creating some genuinely huge viral moments.
Yeah.
It's clearly struck a chord, managing to engage younger audiences, often by blending humor with this sort of perceived authenticity, even if it's intentionally awkward.
Right. But we've also seen the debate around it. How long can it last? When does that endearing awkwardness just become, well, cringe in a bad way?
Yeah, that line seems really crucial, and it underlines how vital it is for anyone communicating, brands, institutions, anyone, to really understand their audience and the context of their message.
Definitely. It's not just about using the slang. It's about whether it feels right for who you are and what you're trying to say.
So, as we leave our listeners to ponder all this, what's a big takeaway thought?
Well, maybe think about this. The sheer speed and disposability of online trends like this forces everyone trying to communicate digitally to constantly adapt, constantly innovate. The Gen Z script is just one example. So the question to keep asking yourself as you watch the space is, what's next? What new forms of authentic cringe or maybe complete different kinds of unexpected connection strategies are going to emerge? And how will they challenge our ideas about what feels real, what builds trust, and what truly connects in this perpetually shifting digital world?
What's the next sleigh or the next Riz? And how will we react when inevitably our politicians try to use it? A thought to keep you scrolling, perhaps.